know what the first step is.
Bob Banish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
The first step is make an appointment. Come on into my office. Let's sit around the table. Let's talk about what you're looking for, what your needs are, what your budget might be. And let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and what it's going to cost. And get a house that you're going to be happy with. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done. Once you find a good lot, let's get it reserved because there's a very limited number of lots in this town. And then start designing that floor plan that's going to be perfect for you. Next thing you know, we're moving dirt.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
You're listening to coverage of the NCAA tournament live from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everidge. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's a special day, March Madness, March Insanity, college basketball's in the forefront. We are here live at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. We have got a crowd, a lot of people here to watch basketball. They're here to hear what Jake has to say.
That's right.
I don't think you and I have ever done anything outside the studio together, have we?
Not yet. This is the first.
This is awesome, dude. I want to get the people involved. I want people to blow up the text line. What's that number, Jake?
402-464-5685.
All right. So we do got to kind of dive right into it because I do have a bracket filled out here. All right. But you and I were supposed to fill one out live on air.
That's right.
So we're going to do it live on air. The game's going to start 11:15. Again, this is the Adam Carriker Show, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time. Come join us 4 days a week. You're going to hear Husker sports, college football, and sports in general. This would be one of those sports in general type days. Creighton, Jake's favorite team, is going to play Louisville. All right, here starting in about 15 minutes. I have a bracket that is filled out, but I might change it as we go through this thing live on air. All right, so loaded show, as always, March Madness, live crowd. We're going to talk about 4 true freshmen who could be impact players for Nebraska football and so much more. All right, Jake, before we start filling out our brackets live on air, you got any initial thoughts?
Oh, just it's great to be back here. I mean, we did this every year from Buffalo Wings and Rings, and kind of see some of the same crowd come in and go grab a ping pong ball. Now the ping pong balls are gone, but we do give away the first, to the 64 ping pong balls out today. And so everybody's here, everybody's excited, and we've got. I'll just say this. We've got a heck of an opener. We've talked about it. Louisville and Creighton, Nebraska not in the tournament, but that's probably as close to Nebraska as you can get, maybe outside of Omaha later today. Well, not just the Creighton factor, but certainly Chucky Hepburn on the other side. So there's a lot of feel for Nebraska. And I'll tell you this, I mean, as special as these days are, it does make you feel a little. Nebraska was so close this year, maybe needed one more shot in a few different games, and we could have been talking about maybe Nebraska today, but that's okay. Maybe there's always next year, right? That's what they say in sports.
So close yet so far. All right, and actually, you pointed it out. We got some great games that are going to be going on while this show is going on. Louisville versus Creighton, Big Ten teams, Purdue versus High Point, Wisconsin versus Montana. My mom was born and raised in Montana, so I got a bit of a soft spot for the gigantic underdogs there, the Montana Grizzlies. All right, let's start right out the gate. Let's go quickly through this first round. I'm taking Auburn over Alabama State. I am going to take Creighton over Louisville, Michigan over San Diego, and A&M over, let me see here, A&M over Yale. All right, who you got there in those first four games, Jake?
Yeah, I like that too. I got Auburn in the first game. I think Creighton does end up winning that game. Again, that one's a coin flip, tough to pick. It's at Rupp Arena, so very close. There's going to be a lot of Louisville fans there, and maybe some Kentucky fans booing them. But anyway, maybe. Watch out for Rain Smith.
Maybe.
Yeah. Rain Smith, three-point shooter coming back for Louisville. That could kind of boost them up there, but I like Creighton still in that game. I've actually got San Diego pulling the upset against our UCC SD pulling the upset against Michigan. And then I got Texas A&M winning as well. The reason sometimes you got to look at some of these names on these teams. UCSD, Annie Tate Jones. I probably didn't say that right, but 19.5 points per game. And then his main guy as his sidekick is Tyler McGee. I could see a Tyler McGee March Mayhem moment today.
So I thought about that game as anytime it's 12-5, I look at it. I give it an extra look. 11-6, 12-5. Those tend to be the upset type games. I gave it an extra look, but Michigan just won the Big Ten tournament. Yeah. I'm rolling like they both won their conference tournaments. So I'm rolling. I got Michigan all the way to the Sweet 16.
Oh, there you go.
So if you're right, that's going to hurt me drastically if Michigan loses in the first round. All right, Ole Miss. And all this discussion around North Carolina, their AD getting a shady $105,000 bonus because he's the chairperson of the committee. North Carolina wasn't going to get in, shouldn't have gotten in. Then they got in. Then they win the play-in game. All right, 11-seeded North Carolina versus Ole Miss. I'm taking the team that shouldn't have been in the dance to begin with. I'm going with the brand that is North Carolina. I still don't trust the SEC in basketball. And that's going to show throughout my picks here.
Oh.
And if the SEC turns – if they're actually good at basketball, it's going to hurt me. I'm not going to lie to you. All right. I got North Carolina over Ole Miss, Iowa State over Lipscomb, and Marquette. I almost went with New Mexico, but I went with Marquette over New Mexico. And I'm not going to lie to you. I got Michigan State making a bit of a run here. So, of course, I've got them winning in the first round over Bryant. All right. So, my winners so far are Auburn, Creighton, Michigan, Texas A&M, North Carolina, Iowa State, Marquette, and Sparty. All right, Jake, who are your next four winners?
All right, for that North Carolina game, I do agree with you. North Carolina actually favored by 1.5 going into this game, although Ole Miss –
I didn't even know that, by the way.
Yeah,
okay.
Ole Miss 4 senior starters, so that could help them in this game and in this tournament. Then I do have Iowa State. They're without Keyshawn Gilbert. A lot of people kind of checking out on Iowa State because of that, but they've got a heck of a team even without him. 4-5 against top 25 teams this year, so I think Iowa State cruises there. Marquette, New Mexico. I do like New Mexico there. They've got a really good defense, 13 wins versus BPI top 100 teams, and they've got a big man down low. The average is 14-11, and their conference player of the year, averaging 20 points per game. So I like the upset there. And then Michigan State, I make quite a run with Michigan State. It's March. It's Izzo time, so go ahead and pick Michigan State. And if Bryant surprises in that game, I think they're going to ruin just about every bracket across the country.
Should I ask the people if they want to root for Creighton?
You should. Yeah, you could try.
Hey, I got a question for everybody. Hey, who here is rooting for Creighton?
There's one
who
or two.
Who here is rooting not for Creighton? Oh, that was definitely louder. Anti-Creighton folks in the house. Couple of J-Skers. That's okay. That's all right. All right. Next up here. I'm taking Florida over Norfolk State. UConn, the two-time defending national champs. Bobby Hurley, everybody in Nebraska's favorite basketball coach. All right. I got UConn over Oklahoma. Memphis and Colorado State. I had to debate this for a minute simply because it's that 12-5 matchup. Colorado State just won their conference title. Memphis, I mean, they're a basketball power, especially for an AAC-type school. I did go with Memphis. Maryland and Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is a great place to visit, but not a great place to play basketball, so I'm going with Maryland. Missouri and Drake. I actually did a lot of research on this one, and I am well aware of who Drake is because they do things on the basketball court. Missouri's pretty good at basketball too, but again, my anti-SEC bias is showing through, and I go with Drake over Missouri. All right, UNC Willingham. Since I wasn't even sure who they were, I'm going to go with Texas Tech over UNC Willingham. Kansas and Arkansas. Man, Kansas, a team that were they the number one team at the start of the year?
I think they were. I think that's right.
And then they got mollywopped by Creighton, who's everybody's favorite here in the house today. But Kansas, I do have them beating Arkansas. I remember, man, the early 90s when Arkansas won that national title, and they were just uber good at basketball. They just haven't been the same since. All right. But they still have a solid program, just haven't been like a national title contending team year in and year out like they were, at least in the early 90s. I remember coming home from like baseball practice and watching the tournament. I remember Tyus Edney for UCLA, and I remember the Arkansas teams and all them. All that Arkansas talk to go with Kansas. Carolina, hey, what do you think of their AD? Did he deserve that bonus? No. He said no. He said no. All right. It's not his money. He doesn't really care. Kansas over Arkansas. And then, man, do I go heel here? I got UNO. Their first time ever in the dance. Do I go heel here? UNO and St. John's. Who do you think I picked? I want you to predict who you think I picked.
I got to believe you're going to pick St. John's. Now, I understand the why you'd want to pick Omaha, obviously, but it looks like a little bit of a mismatch on paper.
Well, so I was doing a little bit of research today. Excuse me. And Wilson Moore, one of his quotes was, "Dang, we're really here." That's exciting, but that's not what I want to hear if I'm rooting or going to predict a particular team like UNO to win. Terrific story in UNO's last 48 hours. All right, and what they've been able to do to get into the dance. I am going to go heel, which means bad guy in pro wrestling terms, and I am going to take St. John's over Omaha. But to be clear, I am rooting for UNO. Okay, and we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Chucky Hepburn. All right, the story line of him being at Louisville, first team All-ACC, Defensive Player of the Year as well?
Yeah, this year, right. Yeah, it was.
All right, a former Omaha guy going to play against his hometown team in Creighton. All right, here in about 1 minute, that game is going to start. All right, so I would be remiss if we didn't mention that because that's an amazing storyline right there. Just too many Nebraska guys got away, especially to the ACC. 2 first-team All-ACC performers from not just Nebraska, but Omaha, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. All right. I go St. John's over UNO. So down here, I have Florida, UConn, Memphis, Maryland, Drake. I got an upset there. Texas Tech, Kansas, and St. John's. Who you got, Jake?
I like Florida against Norfolk State. I think, like you said, Dan Hurley, I can't imagine a first-round exit for the back-to-back champions, so I'll go with them there. Then you have Memphis and Colorado State. I love the 12-5s, and I'm going to keep rolling.
I like it.
12-5. Colorado State, 10 straight wins heading into the tournament. So looking pretty good there. Maryland and Grand Canyon, Derek Quain and Julian Reese. That's a tough front court. So I'm going to pick the favorites there in Maryland. Missouri and Drake. I like the Drake pick. They've only had 3 losses all year long, but I do like Missouri in this one. They're 17-0 when holding opponents under 21 free throw attempts. So watch for
Drake's going to shoot 22 today.
Yeah, they might. They very well might. In case, Texas Tech, I think, will beat UNC Wilmington. They didn't have too much of on their resume to pick them as the upset pick in my mind. The Kansas and Arkansas, like you said, weird to see it at the 7-10 matchup here, but we do have Bill Self against Coach Cal, so that's going to be fantastic. I do like Kansas to win that. Arkansas, watch out if they get in foul trouble. They're not a very deep team. And then St. John's and Omaha. I said it earlier. I'd love to pick Omaha. I'm going to be cheering for Omaha, which is it's a tough position because St. John's I'm kind of cheering for them too, but I think St. John's will probably get the best of them. As we tip off, by the way.
Why St. John's? Why are you rooting for St. John's specifically?
Just a cool story. Rick Pitino. I mean, he's won it a few different places before, Kentucky and Louisville.
Five conference titles, five different conferences.
But national championships, he's got 2 of those too. And they could make a run this year. And I just like St. John's. I mean, they haven't been great for a couple decades, but they're always kind of one of the, not quite blue bloods, but a pretty darn good school up there east. And it's good to see them back in the mix.
All right. Did you know the 1985 Kansas coaching staff had Larry Brown, think about this, Greg Popovich, Bill Self, R.C. Buford, if you didn't know, 5-time NBA champion executive, Alvin Gentry, 18 seasons in the NBA as a head coach. So you're talking Larry Brown, Hall of Famer, Greg Popovich, Hall of Famer, Bill Self, future Hall of Famer, R.C. Buford, 5-time NBA champion as an executive, Alvin Gentry, 18 seasons as an NBA head coach on the 1985 Kansas coaching staff. Dude, that's insanity to me. Can I even remember everybody? The 2012 Washington Redskins coaching staff. All right. We had Shanahan. Mike Shanahan was the head coach, but Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator. All right. The Rams' current head coach, remind me his name. I'm blanking here.
McVay?
Yeah, Sean McVay was the tight ends coach. And the Packers' current head coach. God, why am I blanking on these guys' names? You remember who's the Packers' current head coach?
Matt LaFleur?
Yes.
Yeah.
I forget what he even coached. He was the little short brown-haired young dude walking around the building that I'm like, I don't even know who that guy is, but I see him here all the time. I know he was one of the offensive assistant coaches. Running backs pops into my head, but that may not be right because you had Mike Shanahan as the head coach. You had Kyle as the offensive coordinator. McVay as the tight ends coach. And LaFleur, God, what was he? Was he the quarterbacks coach? I got to look. You mind looking it up real quick? That's going to drive me nuts. But now you look at that coaching staff, and years later, there's some of the best head coaches in the entire NFL. Like Kyle Shanahan has proven himself as one of the top 10 best head coaches. Sean McVay, I saw a list the other day where he was ranked number 2, which surprised me a little bit, if I'm being honest with you. Matt LaFleur, I saw a list where he was number 8. So, heck of a coaching staff. You come back to that Kansas coaching staff. Man, I can't think of many other coaching staffs where you look years later and it's like 3 Hall of Famers, professional coach for 2 decades, 5-time champion as a professional executive. That's craziness. All right, man. So,
I got to mention the 83 Iowa football staff. Have you seen that one?
How dare you?
I know it's Iowa.
What are you doing? Let's just talk about Creighton for the rest of the show while we're at it.
I just want you to hear this out because it's crazy. Obviously, back then, Iowa, Hayden Fry was the head coach. But Kirk Ferentz was on staff. Bill Snyder was on staff. Dan McCartney, who was the Iowa State coach after a while, was on staff. Barry Alvarez was on staff. And Bob Stoops was on staff. That's a crazy coaching staff.
That is crazy. And I always said Barry was a Nebraska guy. Now I got to rethink that whole line of logic. Thanks a lot, Jay. All right, so in the suite, have we done Auburn, Creighton, Michigan, Texas A&M? Let's go to the other side of the bracket, all right?
Okay.
We'll get into round 2. All right, Duke over St. Mary's. I'm going to take that one. I do have Baylor over Mississippi State. Again, my anti-SEC bias just runneth wild in my bracket, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I have Liberty over Oregon, and I'm not going to lie to you. Nebraska going into Eugene and beating them stuck in my mind, and I couldn't get it out. I think Liberty's only got like 3 or 4 losses. As I looked it up last night. So I'm taking Liberty. Arizona, Akron. There's only one MAC team in this entire tournament, so it's hard to pick a MAC team, especially over a quality college basketball brand like Arizona. BYU and VCU, man. Remember that year VCU made that run?
Oh, yeah.
It was about 10 years ago.
It's been a while now.
Did they make the Final Four?
Almost
the Final Four?
Yeah.
Because we lived in Ashburn, Virginia. I played for the Skins at the time, and I was driving down the interstate, and it's Virginia Commonwealth University, and I knew that. I didn't know where they were located. I knew of VCU, but I didn't know anything about them before that year. I'm driving down the interstate because you drive all over the place when you live there because you practice in Ashburn, Virginia, not Washington, D.C. You play in Landover, Maryland, not Washington, D.C. You actually have nothing to do with Washington, D.C. So you end up driving from Virginia to Maryland. Then you have to do things in D.C. So you're driving all over the freaking place on the Beltway out there in the DMV. And I'm driving down one day, and I'm like, it's like VCU University, which was like shortly right after it was either the Final Four they made it to, or they got in, or they were just in the Elite Eight playing for the Final Four. So that's always kind of stuck in my head. That being said, I'm taking BYU. I said all that to take the other team.
Good setup. I like that.
So I did all this in my head, and I'm like, man, I want to take VCU. And then I'm like, no, I'm going to go with BYU. I think they're actually pretty good. All right, Montana, my heart is with you. All right, it's like Jake with St. John's. My heart is with you, but I got to go with the Badgers. All right, St. Mary's and Vanderbilt. I actually took Vanderbilt in a minor upset here. This is one where, like, I know Vanderbilt's a part of the SEC, but they're like actually smart. So it's like, in my mind, there's 15 SEC teams in Vanderbilt. So I took Vanderbilt here over St. Mary's. All right, in Alabama, I got them over Robert Morris. All right, so who you got there, Jake?
Going through the bracket, obviously Duke's going to be everybody's favorite pick. Cooper Flag, his health is going to be something we monitor throughout the tournament, but should be good to go. Mississippi State, Baylor, I like Mississippi State in that one. They just had a better top 20 record against the top 25 than Baylor did. I actually do like Liberty to beat Oregon as well. 40% from three. They're one of the top 5 teams in the tournament in that category. So I like that there. Arizona and Akron, look out for the Zips. They're the shortest team in the field, but they can make threes too. And they've never won a tournament game. So, there's always kind of a special moment in March. That definitely could be one. That being said, I'm doing the old setup too. I'm going to Arizona.
I love it.
To get the win there.
Yeah, I was about to circle that game. Never mind. Jake went the other way.
BYU VCU is fantastic. I think either of these teams can make a run. I ended up going with BYU too, but both those teams are very good. Wisconsin and Minnesota, John Tanji, another guy at Omaha, all Big Ten player. Could have been nice in a Nebraska uniform.
God, that's brutal. Stop pointing that stuff out.
But so he's leading them. I think Wisconsin's going to win that. I do like St. Mary's. They're one of the best teams in the nation in rebounding margin, scoring defense, and assist to turnover ratio. So I like them there. And then Alabama, very fast tempo. I think they're going to run their 15 seed out of the building there in Robert Morris.
2 first-team All-ACC performers, a first-team All-Big Ten performer, all from Nebraska. When people are like, Nebraska's never going to be good at basketball, well, not if we can't keep talent in state. It's the same thing with football or any other sport. And I'm just like, if you put a little bit more in the NIL, all right, which is easy for me to say, it's not my money. Also, then you're going to have to talk with Matt Rule and DBK, Danny Westboom Kelly, and all these other sports because the cap is 20.5 for all of them. The target is 14.5 for football. And then everything else, roughly $6 million or so. Ah, man, I think it would be so huge. Football starts playing better. Volleyball's doing well. Women's sports are on the rise. Nebraska sports as an overall whole are on the rise. Baseball just finally had a sweep this week. Okay, so they're getting going a little bit. But man, you get men's basketball rolling to where they're like, envision a world. And I know we got to go to break, and we're going to keep breaking this bracket down. But envision a world where the football team goes to a bowl game every year. That world's not hard to envision because I saw that world. I just want it back. But we're in the college football playoff conversation way more often than not. Okay, we're in that world. Maybe I actually think the Big Ten championship conversation is harder than the college football playoff conversation,
it is now,
especially in a couple of years. When imagine 16 teams, you can lose 4 games and get into the college football playoff if it's 16 teams. Getting the Big Ten championship, man, you lose more than 1 or 2 conference games, you're basically out.
Yeah.
So to me, it's harder. Although if they do the top 6 teams like we talked about, where 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5 to get in the playoff, you're not playing for the Big Ten championship, but you're still kind of playing to get in the playoff. So that opens up the doors. And you were so astute that one day you're like, wait, so if it's 16 teams, but you have all these playing games, it's really a 24-team playoff. And I was like, holy crap, he's 100%. Yeah. It is a 24-team playoff. So it's going to be easier to get in that. But just imagine a world where we are in a bowl game every year. And bowl games shocked me last year. They started to mean more. I was like, all right, I like that. But you're in the college football playoff conversation more often than not, and you have a basketball team that, first of all, makes the Big Ten tournament every freaking year. But then you're in the NCAA tournament conversation way more often than not. And then the question is, do we get our first tourney win ever? The question becomes, hey, let's get that first win. All right, let's go beat SIUE. By the way, who is that, with all due respect? All right, Wofford, Robert, of course, we'd have to be a top 2 seed. But let's go beat that 8 or 9 seed if we're an 8 or 9 seed, and let's try to make a Sweet 16 run and see what we can do. That world's harder to envision than the football one that I laid out. But imagine a world where that's the case, and then you got volleyball doing what volleyball does, where you just take Final Fours for granted. And if you're not in the national championship match, it's a bad year. And if you ain't winning at all, it's like, oh, man, they did good but not great, which is crazy to say, by the way. That's crazy to say. That's the type of expectations they have. By the way, it's what football used to be for those of us who remember the good old days. All right. But just imagine a world like that, Jake. Like, do you think that's it's possible? People are like, man, you can't win with Nebraska talent. Well, you start winning when you start with Nebraska talent, and then whatever holes you have on that particular team or sport that you're playing, you fill them with out-of-state talent, okay? But you keep the Nebraska homegrown talent first, and then you go outward for whatever you need. That to me is the biggest step in the right direction that we need to take. What are your thoughts there?
Well, it's interesting if they would go heavy scholarships-wise on Nebraska in-state talent. I mean, for years that just doesn't really work for basketball, right? Because you need 15 scholarships. I've always been like more lenient on, okay, we don't need to keep guys in state. You just need to go get guys that are going to fit the program. And so they haven't really leaned on Nebraska in-state talent for the longest time. This class specifically hurt him, and it hurts them. Right? It's kind of the Joe Burrow thing where they could have had him out of high school and then all three of those guys transferred. So they could have had them.
Did you bring up daggers from time to time? Just absolute daggers from time to time.
Well, it's the reality that is Nebraska men's basketball that we live in here today. But it's great. You look at it, there's plenty of examples. Michigan, Wisconsin, even within the Big Ten, of just consistently good football and basketball programs. And Nebraska could be one of those, at some time. So it's not the hardest thing to imagine being able to get done. It just has not happened in a long, long time.
You want me to throw a dagger out there?
What's that?
Can we just be Iowa in football and basketball? That's the dagger.
That would help.
Let's go to commercial break, and nobody's going to come back after the break after that dagger right there. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to finish our bracket, all right after we take a quick break. Hey, what's the score of the game right now? Creighton is up 11-9, much to the dismay of many people in attendance here. Oh, they're even starting to boo a little bit. I accept those boos. Oh, now Creighton's down. All right. There's going to be a lot of lead changes. This is March Madness. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're listening to coverage of the NCAA tournament live from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, it's the middle of winter. The holidays are over and the weather is unpredictable. Isn't there anything to look forward to? You bet there is. Cash Blast from your Nebraska Lottery is back. Until April 1st, buy a 2x2 ticket and enter the voucher number online for a chance to win one of 7 weekly drawings for $5,000 or $500. And if your voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. Hey, there's nothing like a little green to cure the winter blues. 2x2 top prize odds, 1 in 105,000.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine with a light breeze. Afternoon high around 43. Tonight, increasing cloud cover, continued breeze, a low near 35. And tomorrow, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day. It'll be breezy with a high near 56. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Hey Stars fans, I'm goaltender William Prowse. Be here at the Icebox on Saturday, March 22nd, when we host the Sioux Falls Stampede at 6:05. It's Pucks and Paws night at that box, so you can bring your dog to the game with you. Lock in your seats for March 22nd now by getting your tickets at LincolnStars.com.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with the child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Hey volleyball fans, this is Laura Dijkema, national player of the Netherlands and now the setter on Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering for us in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action. Go Big Green!
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to coverage of the NCAA Tournament live from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. We are at Buffalo Wings and Rings here in Lincoln. Hot crowd. I walked around, shook everyone's hand. I said, hey, feel free to cheer. Feel free to boo. They seem to really want to boo Creighton right now.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Be interactive. Have fun. We love a live hot crowd. All right. Next on the bracket, we got the Midwest region. And again, I don't have any idea who SIU is. I did not take the time to look them up. There's nothing but love and respect when I say that. But there's only so much time in a day, so I took Houston over 16-seeded SIU. Gonzaga in Georgia. Again, I grew up 2 hours from Spokane, Washington. Born in Hastings when I was 3. My dad's job took me to the state of Washington, so I grew up in Tri-Cities, 2 hours from Spokane, where good old Gonzaga is located. and Georgia's in the SEC. So you know who I picked. All right, Clemson and McNeese. I'm seeing Final Four brackets with Clemson in the Final Four.
Ooh.
I thought about taking McNeese. They dropped the state years ago, so no longer McNeese State, just McNeese. But I got Clemson moving on. Purdue and High Point, which sounds like a drill that I would run my kids through, so I'm going to go with Purdue. Illinois and Xavier. I love Xavier. Illinois, where the S is silent. I do not have them winning. I got the 11-seeded Xavier winning over Illinois. Troy and Kentucky. Man, you remember when Calipari first got to Kentucky? He won that national title, what was that, year 2, year 3? John Wall, all those number 1 recruiting classes. It was the one and done, in and out. They were gone. What happened? He's not even there anymore.
No.
Their success just dropped. He's a great coach. He was great at UMass, great early on at Kentucky. I mean, you want to talk about a blue blood in college basketball. When I think of blue bloods, I think of schools like Kansas. I think of North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky, Indiana, UCLA. Who am I missing?
I think UConn's got an argument now.
UConn,
yes.
Yeah. I did this the other day, and there was 8 that popped into my head. Would Arizona be a blue blood? Kind of, sort of.
Michigan State.
Michigan State. Okay, well, at least we got 7. But Kentucky is a non-debatable one.
Yeah.
They're like top 4. Like if you had to list 4, North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky. The 4th could be a little bit of debatable. Maybe Indiana or Kansas probably would be the 4th. I mean, those 4 are pretty easy. All right. So I where Kansas is this year, it's kind of a 1-year mulligan. Okay, no big deal. But Kentucky's been down for a while. You know what's funny? The SEC used to suck at basketball. It used to be like Arkansas 30 years ago in Kentucky. And then it was Kentucky and everybody else sucked. And now it's like Kentucky doesn't suck, to be clear. I mean, what are they? The 3 seed.
Yeah.
For Kentucky, that's bad. But in general, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But the rest of the SEC all of a sudden gets better, supposedly. We'll see how this tournament goes. All right, long story short, I took Kentucky over Troy, who, again, why are all these schools dropping the state? Like it used to be Colorado Golden Buffaloes, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket, all that stuff. It used to be Troy State, McNeese State. Was there something wrong with being called a state? Nebraska State Cornhuskers? No, it doesn't work.
I mean, Omaha wanted to go from UNO to Omaha, so I don't know. Branding, I suppose.
Random thoughts. All right.
Yeah.
Kentucky. All right, let's see. I took Kentucky, UCLA, Utah State. I went with Utah State in this one.
Oh, wow. Picking the upset.
Yeah. UCLA should win this game. UCLA is the better team. But in the tournament, there's going to be upsets, and you try to pick your spots. So the upsets that I have so far, although you told me that North Carolina is favored over Ole Miss. At the time, I thought it was an upset. 11th seed in North Carolina over Ole Miss. All right. Let's see. I had Drake over – can't even read my own bracket here – over Missouri. All right. I had Liberty over Oregon. I tried to pick like at least one each region. Oh, I had Vanderbilt over St. Mary's. And in this one, I had Xavier over Illinois, but then I had more upsets than I realized. That's 6 if you just go by seeding. Utah State over UCLA. I just feel like they're a really good team. They're underrated, and they can get hot. I try to find the teams that not just can get hot, but are likely to get hot. I feel like they're likely to get hot. They're going to go out and lose by 30 today, and everything I just said won't mean a word, but that was my logic. And then I have Tennessee over Wofford. All right, who you got in that first round down in the Midwest region, Jake?
Yeah, like you, I don't even know who Houston is playing, so I'm going to go ahead and go with Houston. And then Gonzaga, Georgia, I think it was it's the 8-9 matchup, but I do think it's one of the best matchups we have in the first round. Ryan Nimhart, a former Creighton point guard, leads the nation in assists with 9.8 assists per game with Gonzaga there. Georgia's someone to look out for, though, as well. They're very tall, and they beat Florida and St. John's this year. So I think that's going to be a great game. And look out, Houston in the second round, regardless of who you pick. I got Georgia getting the upset there. Minor upset, like I said, 8-9 there. Clemson and McNeese State. I did pick Clemson. I was thinking about going with McNeese, but their coach just accepted another gig, so he's kind of 1 foot out the door there. I don't know if that works out well for them. I do have Purdue beating High Point. They'll look out, upset watch. Purdue usually is the team that overshadows you with their big men. Well, High Point does have a 7-footer to go out there. They also have 14 straight wins. Purdue losers of 6 of their last 9, so we could see some momentum carry over into that game. I like Illinois to beat Xavier, though I do thank Xavier for knocking Texas out of the tournament last night. Kentucky, I do like to beat Troy. UCLA, I think will beat Utah State. I know you made that pick. This is Utah State's 3rd straight tournament with a third straight new coach. So that's an achievement in and of itself. Yep. And then I like Tennessee to beat Wofford.
You remember, it wasn't that long ago, maybe 5 years ago, Virginia was the first ever number 1 seed to lose to a 16 seed, and then they came back the next year and won the whole freaking thing.
That's right.
Dude, March Madness at its finest. All right, round 2 matchups. Let's go back to the Southern region. Auburn and Creighton. Let me guess, Jay Skur. You picked Creighton. I love how I just throw that out at you, and it's not even true at all, but I deliver it with such confidence. All right, did you take Auburn or did you take Creighton? Who you got, my friend?
I did pick Auburn. I think the winner of this Creighton-Louisville game very well could beat Auburn. Auburn's, I think, got a pretty tough road to the Final Four.
They do.
But they're a heck of a team.
No, when you look at this, I'm like, Houston, I think, has about one of the easiest roads as the number 1 seed in their bracket. Florida's is very reasonable. I wouldn't call it easy. I also kind of felt like Duke, and they got Alabama and Wisconsin. I don't think Wisconsin's the strongest 3 seed I've ever seen. Mainly Alabama. But you look at Auburn, man, I don't even have them in the Final Four. You got Michigan State. You got, I'm just going to say Carolina because they're winning and they're favored to win again. Michigan, I mean, A&M's talented, not completely disciplined as a basketball team. All right. But I do have Auburn over Creighton. All right. The next matchup, Michigan and our good buddies, Texas A&M. Who you got, the Fighting Trev Alberts or Michigan?
Well, I actually went with San Diego to beat Michigan, but I do have Texas A&M.
That's right.
Moving on, their scouting report's the same as it was last year. Can't shoot, right? And then shot the lights out against us. Very athletic, one of the nation's leaders in rebounding. So I like A&M there.
All right. I took Michigan. I said I had Michigan making a little run here. I got Michigan into the Sweet 16 play in Auburn. All right. North Carolina is who I have in this game. I forget who you have, but you'll tell us in a second. Versus Iowa State in my bracket. All right. And I have Iowa State ending North Carolina's dream season. All right. Heading to the Sweet 16. I got Michigan State. I got a mollywhopping Marquette. I mean, Marquette's a decent basketball program. I just think, like you said, it's Izzo time. So in my Sweet 16 from the Southern bracket, I've got Auburn versus Michigan, Iowa State versus Michigan. Well, I didn't realize I had both Michigan schools so far. Okay. Well, that's just awesome. But there you go.
Just going in my bracket, I do think Iowa State will top North Carolina in the second round. I had New Mexico advancing, but I think Michigan State wins. So my Sweet 16 in the South is Auburn, A&M, and Iowa State, Michigan State.
All right, let's go down to the West. Florida and UConn. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, I got Florida making a deep run. So I have Florida over UConn, Memphis and Maryland. Oh, I had Memphis penciled in, and I literally just erased it and wrote Maryland in. Because it was a coin toss, and I just went with the Big Ten team. All right, Drake and Texas Tech. I got Drake into the Sweet 16. I got Drake making a bit of a run this year, the 11 seed into the Sweet 16. St. John's is going to give Kansas a very early exit, if I'm correct. We'll see what happens there. So I got St. John's into the Sweet 16 playing Drake. Who you got?
We got Florida and UConn in the second round. I've got a friend that picks UConn bracket every year. I'm sure he did it again this year. It's a wise decision. But I do think Florida, it does knock down the 2-time defending champions out of the tournament. Then I had Colorado State against Maryland. I do like Maryland to move on. I'm a little bit nervous about my Colorado State pick over Memphis because I do think they could beat Maryland in that next round. But I do have Maryland as it is. I have Missouri beating Texas Tech, and then I have St. John's moving on to the Sweet 16 to take on Missouri and beating Kansas.
All right, real quick, some score updates. Louisville, Creighton, they're showing a highlight, but High Point. The drill that I would run is what it sounds like. High Point is tied with Purdue very early on, just 5-5. All right, they're still showing highlights for Louisville and Creighton. Who do you think's ahead? Give me your prediction.
Last I saw, I think Creighton was leading, but the highlights were all about Creighton, so I'm assuming Creighton.
They've gone back and forth several times. Creighton is indeed up by a touchdown, 28-21. All right.
They don't know that terminology in Creighton. So
I apologize, Creighton fans. I deeply apologize. A touchdown is when the offense puts the ball into the opposing team's end zone, and the extra point is when they kick it through the upright. That was not very nice. All right, Duke and Baylor. I've got Duke going on. Liberty and Arizona. Man, I'm not going to lie to you. I wanted to take Liberty. I like trying to find the team that's going to make a deep run, and it could easily be Liberty. I got Arizona going in, but man, it wouldn't shock me if Liberty versus Duke, with the amount of points that those two teams can score and the way they can shoot beyond the arc would be fun.
Oh, yeah.
All right, BYU. the team that I talked about, the other team, VCU, the entire time, and then picked BYU versus Wisconsin. So I have Wisconsin beating BYU, and Vanderbilt and Alabama. Alabama avenges their loss from the football season,
Nice.
eliminate Vanderbilt from the tournament. So in that Sweet 16 side of the bracket, you'll have Duke, Arizona, Wisconsin, Alabama. All right, who you got, Jake?
Yeah, in the East region, I have Duke beating Mississippi State. I do think Liberty gets past Arizona.
Ooh, I like it.
They picked this year for Cinderella. BYU and VCU, like I said, I think those are heck of teams. BYU can make a run. I ultimately went with Wisconsin over BYU. But I'm kind of regretting it now. St. Mary's.
Why? Because I did?
No, it's just I think BYU could definitely make a run. I'm feeling badgery, I suppose, last time when I filled this out. St. Mary's in Alabama. I do have Alabama moving on.
So when I get to this point in the tournament, I don't necessarily predict who I think's going to win, because half the time, like if you look at BYU, Wisconsin, I didn't necessarily pick who I thought was going to win between BYU and Wisconsin. I went back to the first round and I said, who's most likely to get upset in the first round and won't even be here? VCU, I almost had them over BYU. So it's not even that I think Wisconsin will beat BYU. It's the fact that I think Wisconsin's more likely to even be in the game than BYU is.
Yeah,
so I went with Wisconsin.
I do that too. Same man.
Yeah, that was my logic there. All right, Houston, Gonzaga. I'm going to go with Houston over the Zags down here. Clemson and Purdue. I'm not going to lie to you. I saw a couple brackets with Clemson in the Final Four. That's why I took Clemson over Purdue. I mean, that was the plain and simple reason. Xavier and Kentucky. My goodness, did I want to pick Xavier, but I went with Kentucky. Utah State, Tennessee. I start to get a little bit more the higher seeds, less and less of the surprises as my bracket goes along. I'm now realizing. I didn't realize that until just now as I'm looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 5. I got a 5 seed, Clemson in there. All right. So my matchups in the Midwest region, Sweet 16, Kentucky, Tennessee. By the way, Kentucky beat Tennessee twice this year, even though Tennessee has a significantly better win-loss record. And then I got Houston, Clemson. Who you got there, Jake?
I'll go quickly. We need to go to break soon. I do have Houston passing Georgia. I have Clemson beating Purdue. I think Illinois beats Kentucky. Kentucky has struggled to get to the Sweet 16. That's part of the reason why Coach Cal is now at Arkansas. And I have Tennessee beating UCLA.
All right. My Sweet 16 teams are Auburn, Michigan, Iowa State, Michigan State, Florida, Maryland, Drake, St. John's, Duke, Arizona, Wisconsin, Alabama, Houston, Clemson, Kentucky, Tennessee. Who you got? And then we'll head to break.
In the Sweet 16, I got Auburn, A&M, Iowa State, Michigan State, Florida, Maryland, Missouri, St. John's, Duke and Liberty, Wisconsin, Alabama, Houston, Clemson, and Illinois and Tennessee.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, at the top of the hour, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the show. Maybe I didn't. I just forgot that I mentioned it. Maybe I forgot to mention it, or I forgot that I mentioned it. I don't know. But we're going to talk about 4 true freshman impact players for the football team. We will come back right after this break, give our Final Four teams our national champion, and then at the top of the hour, 4 true freshman impact players for Nebraska football. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to coverage of the NCAA tournament live from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Biggest question people have is, how do I start the process? What is the process? I want to build a new home, but I don't know what the first step is.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
The first step is make an appointment. Come on into my office. Let's sit around the table. Let's talk about what you're looking for, what your needs are, what your budget might be. And let's come up with some answers on what we're going to build, where we're going to build it, and what it's going to cost. And get a house that you're going to be happy with. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done. Once you find a good lot, let's get it reserved because there's a very limited number of lots in this town. And then start designing that floor plan that's going to be perfect for you. Next thing you know, we're moving dirt.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call today at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
I used to smoke. I thought of cigarettes as my best friend.
They were always there for me when I needed a break.
I also thought cigarettes were my best friend, and then they gave me peripheral artery disease.
I smoked and had a stroke. Actually, multiple strokes.
I smoked and have heart disease. Here's my tip. If cigarettes are your friend, you need a better friend.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
You're listening to coverage of the NCAA tournament live from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. And we are down to the Sweet 16 in our tournament bracket. A little bit of update on the scorage. Purdue is leading High Point 13-11. Creighton, by the way, there's a lot of silent Creighton fans in here. Creighton just went up. They were up by 3. Now they're up by 2 touchdowns and an extra a 2-point conversion. I told Jake I'm only going to talk about that game in football terms from now on. They were up at 1 point by a field goal and a safety, and then they were up by 4 extra points. So that's how I'm going to talk about that from now on. All right, only football terms. But now Creighton is up by 2 touchdowns, an extra point, and a 2-point conversion over Louisville. And all of a sudden, there was a lot of people who were cried earlier that started cheering for that team. That's okay. That's okay. Just be who you are, be upfront, and be honest. That's all I ever ask. Right, Jay Sker?
Well, it's always, it's tough. I admit it. I do. I'm kind of a Jay Sker in March. I'm sorry.
I get it.
I want to see a run from a Nebraska team. I've always thought, though, I don't know what happened. If they won the championship, I don't even know how I'd
Would you really be happy at that, though?
I don't know if I'd be happy about that, but I don't know how I would even feel, because it still feels like Creighton, even though they're in Omaha, it doesn't feel like it's home, right?
Yeah.
So if the home team, if the
they're
team
kind of their
that won
own
the
thing within the state.
Yeah, over there in Omaha. So I don't know. It'd be weird if the champion was in Nebraska, and I'd still feel disconnected from it.
Okay. So I've talked about, I root for Creighton similarly to I root for Big Ten teams. I want the Big Ten to do well. It makes Nebraska look better. Creighton is from Nebraska, right? High tide raises all ships to a certain degree, at least making the state of Nebraska look better. You raise a great point. If Creighton won, I root for Creighton in May. I root for their baseball team. They don't have a football team, as we pointed out. But I wonder if they ever made a Final Four run. Is there a point where I'd stop rooting for them? Like, okay, this is too much. Man, so without thinking about it much, if they made the Final Four, I'd be happy. But it needs to stop there, because then they're going to talk too much trash to us the rest of the year. And that's good, but that's, for me, it's the Final Four. Then you got to lose. No championship game or championship win, in my biased Husker opinion. Is there a cutoff point for you where you'd root for Creighton in March?
I think I would. I'd hate to say this. I think I'd continue. I'd want to feel it. I'd want to see what it's like to have a basketball champion in Nebraska. Like I said, I feel a little bit disconnected from it, but I think I will continue to root for them. And just like I'm going to cheer for Omaha. I mean, that's kind of the big question. A lot of people are, what if Omaha wins before a tournament game before Nebraska does? Well, if Creighton makes a Final Four,
you and your daggers. My goodness. Sorry, go ahead.
But if Creighton, I mean, that's kind of been the question. That the Creighton has been the better program, but there's been they've had trouble getting, and in these last couple of years, they've moved into the Sweet 16. I think in a Elite 8 appearance, but a Final Four. While Nebraska's just trying to win a tournament game, I mean, they're already the better program in the state, but there's a certain point where it's like, man, they're way better. And Nebraska beat them this last year, so take that.
Maybe I want Creighton to win the national title now, because we could brag that no, I don't know. That doesn't even work. Don't even make the Big Ten tournament. My cutoff point is the Final Four. I am happy to root for Creighton up until the Final Four. Then I'd have a real internal conflict. All right, we got a quick segment here. So, Auburn, Michigan, and my Sweet 16. I do have the SEC over the Big Ten, Auburn over Michigan. All right, Iowa State, Michigan State. I told you I got Michigan State making a run. So I got Auburn, Michigan State in the Elite 8. Then you look at Florida, Maryland. I think there's 2 teams that are the 2 best teams in this tournament. All right, Florida, Maryland. I got Florida going on. Florida is one of those 2 best teams in my opinion. Cinderella, she goes to bed. Drake loses to St. John's. Florida, St. John's will be in my Elite 8. Then you got Duke over Arizona. And again, SEC over Big Ten. It hurts my heart, hurts my soul, and it just hurts my life. Alabama over Wisconsin. All right, Duke and Bama into the Elite 8. Houston and Clemson. Couldn't care less who wins, but I have Houston winning. I do not have Clemson into the Final Four. Dabo and the non-transfer portal usage is going to affect the basketball program too. All right, and this is the game I debated the most. Tennessee, Kentucky. I have Tennessee over Kentucky with 0 confidence because Kentucky already beat them twice this year, but Tennessee has a way better record. I'm just like, at some point they're going to win. So I got Tennessee versus Houston, my Elite 8. Who you got?
Yeah, that Tennessee-Kentucky one on that lower half of the region was one I was but in the Sweet 16, I have Auburn beating A&M, moving on to the Elite 8. to face Michigan State, who I have beating Iowa State. I have Florida all over Maryland. St. John's beating Missouri. Duke ends the Cinderella run of Liberty in my bracket here, and they will take on Wisconsin, who I have beating Alabama. I have Houston ending Clemson's best season of all time. They've never won this many games before. And then I have Tennessee passing Illinois in the Battle of the Orange, as I had Illinois beating Kentucky and Tennessee moving on.
All right, in the Elite Eight, I've got Michigan State, Big Ten over SEC, baby. Michigan State over Auburn. Then I've got Florida over St. John's. So Michigan State and Florida will meet in the Final Four. I have Duke, ACC over SEC. All right, Duke over Bama, Duke into the Final Four. I have Houston, Big 12 representing, baby, over Tennessee, Houston into the Final Four. My Final Four matchups are Michigan State versus Florida, Duke versus Houston. Who you got?
I've got Auburn losing to Michigan State, so I have Michigan State making a Final Four run. St. John's beating Florida to get to the Final Four. Then I have Duke beating Wisconsin and Tennessee beating Houston. So I have Michigan State, St. John's, Duke, and Tennessee in the Final Four.
Dude, 2-seed heavy. I have 3 1s and 1 2 with Michigan State being my 2. You got 3 2s and 1 1, my friend. All right, Michigan State. I think they get in because they get hot. I don't think Auburn's as good as people think, so I have them into the Final Four, but I think Florida's one of the 2 best teams in the country. I have Florida beating Michigan State. Duke, I also believe, I said there's 2 teams that I believe are the best teams in the country. I think there's a little bit of separation, Florida, Duke, and everybody else. So I have Duke beating Houston. I think Houston honestly gets in there. Great program, great season. I think it's a soft region. So I have Duke over Houston. I have Florida and Duke for the Natty. Who you got?
I've got Michigan State beating St. John's to get in, representing the Big Ten. And then I have Duke ending Tennessee's run there, and Duke getting in. I agree with you. Duke and Florida are the best teams. Do the best teams always make it? Not necessarily, but I do have one of them in there.
That's why it's called March Madness. All right, who's your national champion?
I have Duke defeating Michigan State.
All right. I like that there's a Big Ten team in there. I like that you had the guts to go all the way with that. I did not. I have Duke and Florida, and I'm just pausing for effect. It's not pausing for awkwardness. It's pausing for effect. Jake's like, we have to get to break. All right. I have Florida. I have Florida over Duke in what I anticipate being a great national championship game. All right. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
You're listening to coverage of the NCAA tournament live from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
For a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
What's going on, fans? This is Lexi Rodriguez, 4-time All-American at Nebraska and now proud member of Omaha's newest professional team, Love Omaha Volleyball. League One Volleyball is bringing the heat this year. Don't miss your chance to see Olympians, national players, and national champions right here in Omaha from now through April. We can't wait to see you cheering us on in the stands. Visit lovboma.com to buy single match tickets to see me and Love Omaha Volleyball in action this season. Go Big Green!
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solutions offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions on 2024 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Nottingham Forest plays Man City at 6:30 a.m., followed by Liverpool versus Southampton at 9 a.m. On Sunday, Tottenham plays Bournemouth at 9 a.m., followed by Man United versus Arsenal at 11:30 a.m. Liverpool currently leads the standings with 67 points. You can find all this and more at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket, your place for English Premier League soccer, located at 8th and P.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and March Madness is here, and Koppel is ready to rock and roll. We just closed the books on a tremendous February, and we're locked and loaded for a big March. True 0% APR is happening right now at Koppel on select new models. Plus, Koppel has over 10,500 off list on other select new models. Our pre-owned truck lot is full of late model low gyms as well. So make that short drive down 144th Street or check us out online at koppelcars.com. All deals with a roof credit, 0% is standalone.
Well, it's the middle of winter. The holidays are over and the weather is unpredictable. Isn't there anything to look forward to? You bet there is. Cash Blast from your Nebraska Lottery is back. Until April 1st, buy a 2x2 ticket and enter the voucher number online for a chance to win one of 7 weekly drawings for $5,000 or $500. And if your voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. Hey, there's nothing like a little green to cure the winter blues. 2x2 top prize odds, 1 in 105,000.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine with a light breeze. An afternoon high around 43. Tonight, increasing cloud cover, continued breeze, a low near 35. And tomorrow, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day. It'll be breezy with a high near 56. I'm meteorologist Kyle Kleckner for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Forget the lame excuse this year. Your boss already knows why you can't make it to work for those magical 2 days in mid-March. Join 93.7 The Ticket on Thursday and Friday at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O for March Mayhem. Come early on Thursday and get a ping pong ball with a lucky team on it. And stay all day for prizes throughout and buzzer beater upsets. It's March Mayhem with 93.7 The Ticket for the NCAA tournament at Buffalo Wings and Rings, 68th and O. You're listening to coverage of the NCAA tournament live from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Adam Carriker Show.
Position right of the quarterback, out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everidge. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, Adam Carriker.
All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show. Hour 2 here on 93.7 The Ticket. Again, we are at Buffalo's Wings and Rings here in Lincoln doing a live show. Hot crowd. All right. Oh, they went to halftime. Oh, I can see the score. Creighton is up still by 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. 49-34. The Creighton Blue Jays lead the Louisville Cardinals. So, Stone Cold's song starts off my show every day. Starts off hour 2. So a couple years ago when DP's like, what do you want your song to be to start off the show? That was it was either that or Goldberg's entrance song. Those were the two. I like Austin because it's more boom, that broken glass and instant impact. So about 3 years ago, my daughter Trinity, who is now 12, was playing 9U softball, and they got entrance songs or whatever. Walk-up songs is what they call it. As you're walking up from on deck to the batter's box, the mom's like, what do you want? What does Trinity want her walk-up song to be? She didn't know. I said, Trinity, I just want to make a suggestion. And so I just played it. She goes, that's it. And so that became Stone Cold's entrance song, became her walk-up song every time she hit. And so the other parents, it was hilarious because I watched the first time because she's this little 9-year-old girl, It's almost like inappropriate, which is what I love about it so much. So I made sure to watch the other parents her first time. There's 12 kids on the team. Roughly about 8 of the parents, okay, moms and dads and or single parents, about 8 of the parent or parent duos just looked around like almost like trying to find her parents, like who is destroying this young girl's childhood. All right, so fast forward to yesterday. Trinity is now 12, so this is 3 years later. My 9-year-old daughter, Dakota, playing baseball. Shout out to the Braves, club baseball organization here in Lincoln. They get to pick their walk-up songs. And so she had her song picked out. And I just said, hey, Dakota, come on over here. I just want to throw this out there. Do whatever you want. It was a typical pump-up song, a little bit more appropriate probably for a 9-year-old girl. My wife's sitting right there. She knows exactly what's about to happen. I go, just let me play this, and it starts going. And Dakota looks at me, and Mom goes, that starts off Dad's show every day. And Dakota goes, I want that song. So that's her walk-up song now. And I can't wait to get my little vantage point and see how many Braves parents look around the first time they hear her walk-up song. And most of them, I'm actually a lot more familiar with these parents than I was the softball parents. We hadn't gotten a chance to know each other yet. Who's going to look around like, all right, Adam, why are you destroying Dakota's childhood? What are you doing to this poor child? All right. I just want to point out that Jake Sorensen turned heel during the break. He was announcing some of the prize giveaways, and he got booed by the people who did not win. It was pretty loud booing, I might add. So Jake Sorensen is now a heel, in case you were wondering. All right, update. Purdue, 23, High Point. That is a basketball team, not a drill you run in a practice, 21. All right, let's see. You had some stats because Creighton was up 28-25. They were up by a field goal not long ago. Now they're up by 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. How did they separate from Louisville going into halftime? It's currently halftime right now.
Well, we're going to see it a lot in this tournament. We might see it even in the second half. One lopsided half doesn't mean the game's over, but 9 of 16 from beyond the arc. I think a lot of these games I went through, I went, okay, what's gonna change this game? What's gonna be the dynamic that could change this game? There's a lot of teams that rely heavily on 3-point shooting. Creighton is definitely one of those teams, and they're hitting their shots early.
All right, man. I'm rooting for Creighton all the way up to the Final Four. You went full J-Sker. You said you want them to win it all. Does that annoy you when I say that? I'm just having fun.
Not really.
Okay.
Not really, because
I'll say it more often, so it becomes
somebody
more
on the text line pointed out I'm more like a Hawks guy because
wow!
Because I have embraced Iowa football at times in the past. So I've been heel as we're putting it before as well.
You're a J-Sker Hawks guy. All right.
Yeah.
Anything else from the text line? I like that. Anything else from the text line? Feel free to take your shots at Jake if you'd like. Me as well, if you're so inclined. I can handle it most of the time. Anything else from the text line before we move on?
Oh, yeah. Somebody says, can't believe the station has anyone rooting for Creighton at all on the airwaves. That comes from Hugh Jazz. And yes, I know that's not your real name, but go ahead and say that. And also a text in. Does Adam have asinine over Asa 8 or Asa 7?
oh, it's not Asa 7. It's not Asa 8. It's Asa 9, my friend. And when you're saying that previous person's name, man, you got to pause at the right spot. I'm just saying, you got to put the pause at the right spot. All right, let's talk a little bit of Nebraska football. We'll keep giving the updates on the basketball games. And then at 12:30, Wisconsin's going to take on Montana. I have picked Wisconsin. My mom was born and raised in Montana. I am heavily rooting for the gigantic underdogs of Montana, but Wisconsin and Montana tip-off here at 12:30 in about 16 minutes. Let's talk about 4 true freshmen that have as good a chance as anybody as being impact players for Nebraska this fall. So I'm sitting here with an article right in front of me. So if you want, you can cheat and look, Jake.
Okay.
But I want you to give me one right off the top of your head, and then I'll go down my list here as well.
I think that it's tough because there's a couple positions I think that they can get in, and so I don't know if I like one guy over the other. So I'll put that on pause. I think Jamarian Parker is a guy with the running back room that we've talked about. Doesn't have a whole lot proven outside of Emmett Johnson. That might feel good about Quentin Ives. Mekhi Becton there as well, but Jamarian Parker, and I continue to say it's a stat that has been pointed out before, but as we've seen for Huskers over the years, if you're a running back and you make some sort of impact as a freshman, it usually spells well for the rest of your career. If you redshirt, if you don't, play or put too much of a mark on the field, then generally, your career doesn't turn out as well. So I'll be keeping a close eye on Jamarian Parker and see if he can hit the field and make an impact this year.
Do you think they're kind of counting on one of these 2 true freshmen to make an impact? Do you think they just like Quentin Ives that much? You can't, no matter how much you may or may not, but I do. I love Emmett Johnson. No matter how much you may love a guy, you can't count on one running back. It's just not plausible. You have to have 2, if not 3. It depends on if you got one main back or a 1-2 punch. Even if you got a good 1-2 punch, you need someone in case someone gets hurt, someone gets banged up, someone gets sick. Do you think they're counting on Parker or one of these 2 true freshmen to make, I don't want to say an impact, but a contribution this year? And that's why they're not, or they just love Quentin Ives that much, and that's why they're not bringing in anybody from the transfer portal to this point.
I think it almost has to be that. Again, I think I said his name wrong. Mekhi Nelson, not Mekhi Becton, but maybe they have faith in him. I don't feel. I feel a little uncomfortable with it altogether. I'm just going to say it. Just because they lost 2 running backs, this very same staff, same head coach, same running back coach. They lost 2 running backs on the same day 2 years ago, and if something like that happens again this year, even if you do have faith in Quentin Ives or Becton or Parker, you get really thin there really quick.
Yeah, 2 years ago, this unknown guy, this redshirt freshman who was 4th on the depth chart, Emmett Johnson, comes out of nowhere because the top 3 guys get hurt. 4th on the depth chart. How could you not mention Connor Booth?
Yeah, there's one, Connor Booth.
So, it's a serious question. Okay, why, and I'm just having fun here, but why does Connor Booth not come up to you as well? Why do you mention Parker but not Booth? I'm just genuinely curious.
I guess I'm still kind of in the understanding that we don't know for sure if Connor Booth will be a running back. I could be wrong. Maybe there is, but I from what I heard, there was still kind of an idea about him coming in as an athlete, maybe not necessarily a running back. But yeah, that's another guy that certainly is a name worth bringing up that I did fail to mention. But so we'll have to wait and see. It's just, and the other thing though is, and I hear it from Todd Euler all the time because he made the kind of the jump from Class C or whatever to playing for the Huskers. It's a big jump.
It is. That's a fair point. So Connor, most people know this, but for those who don't, Connor was one of the nation's most prolific running backs as a standout at Wahoo Bishop Newman High School. Booth accounted for better than 6,000 rushing yards. Do you think you walk 6,000 yards a week? My wife averages 15,000 steps a day, according to her thing that keeps track of it. That is insane to me. I probably average about 2,500, maybe.
Yeah.
So 1/6 of her. So that's great. 100 touchdowns during his career as a senior. Booth rushed, think about this. Oh my God. Basically 3,000 yards, 2,956 yards, 50 touchdowns, both of which were Class C 2-state records. All right, averaging over 10 yards per carry. As a freaking sophomore, he averaged 13.4 yards per carry. So we'll see what he can do, but you make a good point. Running back, other position, athlete, we'll see what happens. Cortez Mills is the first guy I'm going to mention. We need guys to, when we were talking the other day, transfer portal guys who have to make an impact, I didn't mention a receiver. You did. We need receivers to make an impact. I just felt like, for lack of a better way to put it, there's more room for error in the wide receiver room because there's plenty of talented guys in there. Random side note, my father-in-law once told my wife, I think she was in high school or whatever the case may be, maybe she just started dating me, I don't know. He goes, one day when you're having kids, leave room for error. What the heck does that mean? So my wife is the youngest of 3. She has 2 older brothers. They were wonderfully nice to her growing up. Maybe not. But I guess she kind of came along because they were leaving room for error. You got the 2.
Oh, okay,
a lot of people call that good.
Yeah.
Most people want to stay away from the odd third number or whatever. No. Not my father-in-law. Here came number 3 because he wanted to leave room for error in case something goes wrong. I don't know what that means. All right. There's more room for error in the wide receiver room just because of the talent that's in there, not because we don't need people to step up, because by God, do we. But Cortez Mills, one of the nation's top wide receivers on Nebraska's recruiting board for almost 2 years, had offers from several other big college football programs, including Clemson, Oklahoma, LSU. He was a consensus 4-star across all recruiting services, and as an early enrollee is in prime position to see the field. All right. Cortez Mills is a guy that a lot of people kind of see as a little bit like Corey Barney. A lot of speed, explosive playmaker. At the All-Star game he did after his high school season was over down in Florida, I mean, he stood out. It was talked about several times. He stood out. This is a room where we need impact players. We need people to step up. Matt Rule even mentioned, I believe it was on signing day, he mentioned guys like Dawson Merritt, and he mentioned Cortez Mills as guys. He's like, I want their mindset to be that they're going to come in and they need to play. They need to compete and get ready to play. All right, you got another player in mind?
Yeah, I would think Christian Jones. I mean, he's one of the highest rated players in the class coming from Nebraska. I think there's somewhat of an opening to get some playing time at least there at the linebacker position. You mentioned Dawson Merritt there briefly. He's injured, not playing in the spring. So that's why I would probably pick Jones there above Merritt. But both of them, I think, are going to have an opportunity, and certainly in spots and definitely in special teams play to make an impact on this team.
That's a good one. I look at the linebacker room, and I've tweeted out, think about Willis McGahee Jr., Vincent Shavers, and Christian Jones, just how insanely athletic that linebacker room is. Then you add in Marquez Watson-Trent, just a rock-solid tackling machine in the middle. Now, a lot of youth. There's going to be learning curves in there, especially with Vincent and McGahee Jr. and Christian Jones as well. That's one that I like, and I think, he won the freaking butt kiss. It's the best linebacker in the entire country in high school this year. Pretty good. All right, again, Omaha kid. I'm just saying. All right, Dawson Merritt. This is kind of an easy one. And like I said, another one that Rule mentioned on signing day. As most people will remember, he's a one-time committed to Alabama. Big-time get for Matt Rule and the Huskers. You watch his high school film. He's big. He stands out. But his athleticism is what stands out. He's one of those guys where maybe I need the arrow to point him out before the ball. I don't desperately need it. It's not like Williams and Rari where I don't need anything to see who he is before the ball snaps. But once the ball snapped, the arrow can go away. Once the ball is snapped, I can see who he is. Okay, this is a guy who can rush the quarterback. He can chase people down from the backside. He plays a million miles an hour. He's just a good dude. Interviewed him, just a good dude. People are going to like him as a human being as well. And he's a guy who can make, potentially, these are true freshmen. I will say about these guys what I said about Dylan Raiola. You never know what you're going to get with a true freshman. Potentially, with Rule knowing he needs young players to come in and make an impact this year, these two guys, Dawson Merritt and Cortez Mills, were the first two that popped into my head. I got a bit of a surprise as my next. I'm going to scroll up so you can't see my surprise. All right. But these were the first two guys that popped into my head as potential impact true freshmen for the Huskers this fall. All right. We'll each do one more, then head to break. How's that sound?
All right. I would say there's been a lot of talk about the backup quarterback position here in the last couple of weeks. TJ Lateef is definitely a name to keep an eye on. I would fully expect him to redshirt. But remember, he could play 4 games and redshirt. And, I've said it before, hopefully nothing goes wrong with Dylan. But it'll be interesting to see who wins that backup job and just kind of how you go about it. If TJ Lateef is that next guy or, proves to be worthy of that second position, would they put him there knowing that they'd rather redshirt him still there too? So I don't know if I have a high level of faith that, by the end of this season, I'll look back on this day and say I should have said TJ Lateef, but there is a possibility there. And I do think if he does win, at least is good enough to be the second in command there, which would mean beating Marcos Tavia, the transfer that they brought in from Purdue, Jalen Gramstad, who was the backup for the bowl game, that we could see him get in some action there. And again, I think that redshirt rule opens it up to at least get him a few snaps at least this season.
We're going to save my next player for after the break because I think I like that. And I think it's worth a little bit of a discussion here. By the way, my third player, you've listed 3 players that don't match any of my first 3 players. I know who my next player is, and he's not any of the 3 that you matched. So we have 3 completely different picks so far. TJ Lateef, Dawson Mavia, okay. Is that how you say it? Mavia? I'm trying to say it right.
Marcos. Who's that?
What did I said Dawson, by the way, because I'm looking at Dawson Merritt's name on my screen. Marcos Mavia, right?
Yeah.
Okay. TJ Lateef, Jalen Gramstad, and obviously Dylan Raiola. So Here's the question, because I think most people anticipate Dylan Raiola starting, Mavia being number 2, Gromstad being number 3, so TJ Lateef can redshirt. We live in an era where people don't really redshirt anymore. People get impatient, et cetera, et cetera. I'm sure they've had this conversation before he came on campus, but you look at Daniel Kalen, I'm sure they had conversations, all right? He hit the transfer portal, okay? It's a fair thing to point out. My question to you is this. If Lateef clearly outplays Gromstad for number 3, or he just barely outplays Mavia for number 2, that's even the bigger question. Do you make him the number 2 quarterback, knowing that Mavia is probably going to transfer? Gromstad's out after this year either way. Okay, that he's probably going to transfer, or do you try to wait and hold on to that red shirt, knowing that he's going to get that extra year of eligibility, knowing that Dylan's expected to be your starting quarterback for 2, if not 3 more years? Do you, if he's clearly better than Mavia, there's no question to be had here. My question is, what if he's number 3? Are you going to burn a red shirt? Of course, you can play in 4 games. You probably wouldn't have to burn it to be the 3rd string. But that's why, if he's just a little bit better than Mavia, would you put him at number 2, or would you put him at number 3, try to save the red shirt, and if Dylan goes down, go with Mavia during the season? Like, what would you do? I'll answer my own question, then you can. Matt Rule, you got to win now. Red shirts aren't what they used to be. You got to win now. You got to put the best guys at the best spots regardless of red shirts. So that's my thoughts. I thought it was an interesting question. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, after watching Nebraska redshirt Minnesota wide receiver this last year to save it,
another dagger.
You're right. Yeah,
you're in your dagger.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't know. I think redshirts should be treated differently, kind of like you're saying too. Nebraska, now they did have some success with Riley Van Poppel, some other decisions there. So the staff still thinks they can, and can get away with doing that. But at the quarterback position, I would not make any plans for 3 or 4 years down the line. Like you said, you got to win now. If Lateef's clearly the number 2, or you feel like he's the number 2, then I'd go ahead and play him as the number 2 because I'll just make the I'll go ahead and predict that between Davia and Lateef, both of them will not be here 2 years from now. It just doesn't seem to happen that way anymore.
I'm gonna throw in one more name that won't be here 2 years from now. Jalen Gromstad. I feel pretty safe about that.
That was a good pick. Good pick.
No, that's a fair prediction to make. One of them will be here. One of them will not. Hopefully, at least one of them's here. If they look down the road, they're like, hey, Dylan's going to stay as a junior senior. That's great for Nebraska fans. What about you as an individual player? Man, I only played in this game. I was only on the team at the time, but I'm still a little – I can't remember for sure. I think Zach Taylor went out. And we brought in Harrison back and burned his red shirt. Was it Kansas State?
A Kansas State game, yeah.
I do remember.
Yeah.
I'm so proud. I remember the game that I played in. This is awesome. I remember being on the sidelines like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I didn't think Harrison was ready to play to begin with. Mm-hmm. The dude was a nut job, okay? And, there was a rec basketball game where he was in the game and he wiped boogers all over his face so nobody would guard him. Just if you want to know how nuts the dude was. The amount of stories that I'm on the verge of sharing at all times is insane. There was a pause because I was like, I'm just going to freaking share it. Who cares? If you've watched the guy online anytime in the past 2 years, what do you call himself? The throw god or whatever? Good God. Anyways, I couldn't believe. And then we won the game. And I was like, it was worth it, I guess. Another one like that, a much different type of individual, Zach Potter. He did not redshirt. You know why he didn't redshirt? And again, there wasn't 4 games you could play in. Yeah. Like if you played, your redshirt was gone. It was so he could be on PAT block when I was a junior. And I remember thinking this was the most crazy thing ever. And then we played Pittsburgh that year. And it's 7-6. They line up on 3rd down for a game-winning field goal. We block it. Not me or we. It was Zach blocks it. And I'm like, oh, God. Wow. And then they line up to kick it again. And I'm like, what's going on? They're like, he didn't kick it. It was 3rd down. They can go again. I'm like, you got to be freaking kidding me. And they got time. They had time for one more play. Zach blocked it again. Jeez. To this day, I'm like, that is the stupidest, smartest decision I have ever seen to put Zach Potter on PAT block team and burn that red shirt. Because I got to imagine, it wasn't a long field goal. It's like 35, 40, 30 yards. I got to imagine we lose that game because he makes it. Yeah. And Zach's not out there burning that red shirt. Amazing.
That's crazy, but then you kind of think about even knowing that you won that game, you still think, man, another year Zach Potter would have been pretty good.
It would have been pretty good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we'll run down the list of some more true freshman impact players. Oh, quick score update. Oh, this is going to be a challenging one to do. Let's see. Creighton is up by 2 touchdowns and 2 safeties over Louisville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You're listening to coverage of the NCAA tournament live from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Go hog wild, pit barbecue. It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at gohogwild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Nottingham Forest plays Man City at 6:30 a.m., followed by Liverpool versus Southampton at 9 a.m. On Sunday, Tottenham plays Bournemouth at 9 a.m., followed by Man United versus Arsenal at 11:30 a.m. Liverpool currently leads the standings with 67 points. You can find all this and more at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket, your place for English Premier League soccer, located at 8th and P.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships. One with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Hey Stars fans, I'm goaltender William Prowse. Be here at the Icebox on Saturday, March 22nd, when we host the Sioux Falls Stampede at 6:05. It's Pucks and Paws night at that box, so you can bring your dog to the game with you. Lock in your seats for March 22nd now by getting your tickets at lincolnstars.com.
Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown's Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular priced athletic shoes with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. And don't forget, Brown's carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start your spring off right at Brown's Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Forget the lame excuse this year. Your boss already knows why you can't make it to work for those magical 2 days in mid-March. Join 93.7 The Ticket on Thursday and Friday at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O for March Mayhem. Come early on Thursday and get a ping pong ball with a lucky team on it. And stay all day for prizes throughout and buzzer beater upsets. It's March Mayhem with 93.7 The Ticket for the NCAA tournament at Buffalo Wings and Rings, 68th and O.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and March Madness is here, and Coppell is ready to rock and roll. We just closed the books on a tremendous February, and we're locked and loaded for a big March. True 0% APR is happening right now at Coppell on select new models. Plus, Coppell has over $10,500 off list on other select new models. Our pre-owned truck lot is full of late model low gyms as well. So make that short drive down 144th Street or check us out online at coppellcars.com. All deals with a roof credit, 0% is standalone.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see lots of sunshine with a light breeze. An afternoon high around 43. Tonight, increasing cloud cover, continued breeze, a low near 35. And tomorrow, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day. It'll be breezy with a high near 56. I'm meteorologist Kyle Carriker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to coverage of the NCAA tournament live from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's yours truly, Adam Carriker, and the Hawks guy himself, Mr. Jake Bachman, producer Jake. All right, we got a question on the text line, because I'm giving the Creighton score in football terms only, because Jake pointed out earlier that they don't have a football team, and I just ran with it. And the question was, is a touchdown 6 or 7 points? I am factoring in the made extra points. So when I say that Creighton, last time I gave the score update, was up by 2 touchdowns and 2 safeties, that meant 18 points. All right, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, before we continue to discuss, let me see. You know what? Let's go on to the next potential true freshman impact player for the Huskers, actually. We'll move on to that. Mine is Malcolm Simpson. A lot of this has to do, he's a freak athlete. Matt Rule even talked about. You watch him on the basketball court, and that's what really caught his eye. Matt Rule looks for the diamonds in the rough. How do you find a diamond in the rough? You look for a guy who's really fast, but maybe doesn't have uber stats. You look for a guy who's really athletic and hasn't played a ton, but man, if you can coach him up right, you can develop him. That's how you take 2 and 3 stars and turn them into NFL players and first-round draft picks or guys who get drafted. You find the guys, because Alabama, they're going to get athletic guys, but they're not very likely to talk to the athletic guy who doesn't have big stats, because they can go get 50 guys that are athletic with big stats. But Nebraska, if you're Matt Rule, and this is what you did at Temple, Baylor, and what you want to continue to do at Nebraska and develop players, you find those diamonds in the rough, the guys who are really fast, really athletic, even really big, and you develop them. Maybe they haven't gotten the reps, whatever the case may be. Maybe you see him playing another sport. And so that's what Malcolm Simpson is. Part of this also, it's a bit of a reach, okay, to say a D lineman is going to be a true freshman impact player or an offensive lineman. It's a bit of a reach. Who was the first true freshman to ever start as an offensive lineman here in Nebraska? He also won Conference Player of the Year before he was done in the Big 8. There, gigantic hints.
First true freshman to play on the offensive line, you said?
Start as a true freshman on the offensive line in Nebraska before he was done. And how many offensive linemen are considered Big 8 Offensive Player of the Year? I've never known another offensive lineman to win Offensive Player of the Year before for a conference.
Remington?
Close. Will Shields.
Will Shields. Okay.
Will Shields, my friend. So it's a little bit of a stretch, but the D-line is so unproven. It's going to be young guys everywhere. You mentioned Riley Van Poppel. Okay, we got – I can list – every guy I list is going to be a young guy who hasn't played a ton. We've only got one defensive lineman who started a single game in college on this entire roster. So Malcolm Simpson, I said, might be a surprise. Definitely a surprise in my humble opinion, that he's even on this list. But if somebody's going to step up and going to surprise us, it needs to be on the defensive line. Nobody's really going to surprise us on offense other than, they're even better than we thought. That's not the surprise I'm looking for. It's, I didn't see that guy coming. For him, because he's a true freshman defensive lineman. He's a freak athlete at a position where we need young guys to step up. He's a young guy. I don't know if it's going to happen. It's a bit of a reach, but you never know. All right, who you got next, Jake?
One guy to look out for, I think, is Jeremiah Jones. So might play some wide receiver here, 6'4", 205. They have him coming in as an athlete, or they have him listed as an athlete on most sites. I believe he's going to come in. He's had some bold predictions about what he can do. Again, there's lots of attention. I think that from the wide receiver position, we think Cortez Mills, we think Isaiah Mosey, but I think don't overlook him as well.
Dude, we've had named 7 completely different players. So are you purposely staying away from the guys I'm mentioning, or is this just a coincidence?
I'd say a little bit of both.
A little.
I'm
Okay,
trying not to repeat what you're saying.
I got you. I was like, how do you not put Merritt and Mills on there? Like, those are the first 2 everyone's going to. Okay, I get it. Real quick, before we go on, I do want to shout out the Carriker Chronicles football camp. July 9th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. here in Lincoln, Nebraska at the LYF Lincoln Youth Football Field. July 9th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Lincoln, Nebraska, LYF Lincoln Youth Football Field. It's the inaugural first ever annual. Somebody commented this morning, it can't be annual till it's year 2. Well, it's going to be annual. So the first annual Carriker Chronicles football camp featuring Husker legends Eric Crouch, Heisman Trophy winner, College Football Hall of Famer, Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher Hall of Famer, 2-time national champ. Again, I will be wandering around for some sort of a reason, and we're going to have another surprise former Husker as well. At least one more. There's a guy who's 90% in. And again, if it doesn't work out with him, I've spoken with multiple guys. So at least one more surprise Husker legend will be joining us. So if you want to sign up, register for this camp, it is live now. Go to CarrikerChronicles.com. Go to CarrikerChronicles.com. There's a banner across the top. There's a picture of Eric and Amon and myself. You can click on any of those things in the menu bar. It says football camp. Click on any of those things. It'll take you to the page with all the information you could be looking for, an easy registration process as well. K through 8th, boys and girls, autographs and T-shirts included. All right. Who's your 4th player? Are you looking at my screen?
I'm not looking at your screen. Sorry.
Lies. Who you got?
I've kind of danced around him, but I do think Isaiah Mosey. Did you mention Mosey yet?
I did not.
Yeah, I think
so.
Isaiah
You can
Mosey.
mention him now.
Yeah, Isaiah Mosey needs to be mentioned here as a guy getting in the wide receiver position. What we talked about with Cortez Mills is going to be tough competition to get on the field, but it's a position that true freshmen, if you are one of the best, it's not a whole lot of acclamation. So we'll see what happens with him there. I think Mosey was a big recruiting get for Nebraska. Could be a big on the field get right away in year 1.
I like it. We need wide receivers to step up. We need defensive linemen to step up. All right, quick score update for all the Jayskers out there. The Creighton Blue Jays. Let me do my math here. Oh, they're up by 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. So that is 2 6-pointers, an extra point, and a 2-pointer. That is 65 to 50. All right, the Blue Jays are up. And Purdue and High Point are on commercial. Again, that is a school, not a drill that you run in practice. Okay, my last guy, and my only question mark about this is the ACL. So he's actually going to join us on Tuesday, Tyson Terry. He's going to be joining us on Tuesday. All right, I believe at 12:30 is the time that him and I discuss. So I'm going to ask him, where are you at with the ACL? What's the recovery look like? Have you had surgery? Do you need surgery? How do you not have surgery? If you're not having surgery with torn ACL, how does this work? If he's healthy, the dude's undefeated in wrestling in high school, goes out and wins another state championship on a torn ACL. There's something unique about wrestlers. There's something unique about individuals who've already shown they can play through injury. Okay, this dude, like, height, weight wise, he's there. He can obviously, continue to grow and develop and get bigger and stronger once he gets to Nebraska. But we need young guys to step up. And this isn't even me being biased towards the D-line. This is me saying that's the biggest question mark I see on the entire team as far as unproven players, which doesn't mean they can't do it. Just means they haven't done it yet. And so I'm starting to look around like, all right, Riley Van Poppel, all these other guys that we've already mentioned. Okay, Davis as well, who entered the portal, then came back. All right, look at a young guy coming in like Tyson Terry. As long as he's healthy, he's a guy that could potentially factor in to this as well. Dude, I'll never forget. You remember Bernard Thomas? Bernard?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Do you remember he played as a true freshman, a true sophomore, and then redshirted his true junior year? Remember that?
I did not remember that, but I can't, yeah.
So, number 5, all right, that was his number. And
gold teeth, right? I mean,
gold
pretty
teeth,
shiny
all
teeth
that
there.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Ate nothing but steak every day at the training table. No greens, no vegetables, just steak every single day at the training table. All right, so my true freshman year was the year Chris Kelsey was a senior. Justin Smith, who didn't start, was a senior. Demo, who does stuff here with teammates on the ticket every Tuesday. Check out that awesome show. Des Moines Adams was a senior. And then Trevor Johnson was a junior. I think I mentioned this before. Like, I knew I was going to come in redshirt. Jay Moore was the other guy that came in with me. All right. But there was Bernard as a junior with all these other juniors and all these other seniors. And they knew that I knew I was going to redshirt. Then Jay decided to redshirt. And I remember they chatted. I think actually Bernard went to them and asked to redshirt because they still had four good DNs with Chris, Demo, Justin. Not as well known, but a guy who played a ton as a backup all 4 years after he redshirted. And then Trevor Johnson, who started for 2 years at Nebraska, a couple years. And actually, I played with him in D.C. as well. Not D.C., St. Louis as well. And I'll never forget being like, this dude's going to redshirt as a junior. That was crazy to me. But then he started his last 2 years. So after he was gone, I think I was a junior or senior by then. Coach Blake was our D-line coach. And let's just say Bernard was having and he does a lot of stuff with kids now, by the way. I actually need to hit him up. I need to promote what he's doing. He does a lot of stuff in the community for kids from hard situations, things of that nature. So I actually need to get a hold of him and promote what he's doing now. But we come into D-line meetings one day, and Coach Blake goes, "Can I play all this voicemail?" And I was like, "Huh? Like, what kind of?" He was, I got one from Bernard. And I was like, "Yep, I want to listen." As soon as I heard that, I want to listen. And it was from the D-line coach with the Ravens about Bernard. I'm sorry, about Bernard. Basically, the D-line coach is, "What's up with this Bernard guy? Like, he drives to practice every day with his helmet and shoulder pads on. What is going on with this dude?" And then he listed some other things that I don't recall, but I'm just imagining. And Bernard had a little bit of a souped-up car. I'm just imagining Bernard driving with no jersey, just his shoulder pads. He didn't specify if the jersey was on or not. I don't know. Just in my mind is no jersey, just his shoulder pads and his helmet on to practice every day. Number one, I 100% believed it. Number two, I don't know how that ever played out. But, again, Bernard's doing great things in the community, and I want to get that info. I'll reach out to him, see if we can't help promote what he's doing for the kids in the area. All right. That's all four. You gave four. I gave four, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. When we come back, we got some Husker sports updates. All right, Nebraska baseball. Maybe they're getting on the right track. Gets a sweep. All right. Nebraska women's gymnastics getting ready for the Big Ten championships. And Husker wrestling getting ready to compete in the national championships. That actually starts today. We'll talk about that when we get back. Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to coverage of the NCAA tournament live from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket is your place for English Premier League soccer. On Saturday, Nottingham Forest plays Man City at 6:30 a.m., followed by Liverpool versus Southampton at 9 a.m. On Sunday, Tottenham plays Bournemouth at 9 a.m., followed by Man United versus Arsenal at 11:30 a.m. Liverpool currently leads the standings with 67 points. You can find all this and more at McKinney's Irish Pub in the Haymarket, your place for English Premier League soccer, located at 8th and P.
Advanced Medical Imaging is the largest radiology group in Nebraska, located in Lincoln at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. At Advanced Medical Imaging, they utilize state-of-the-art technology and blend it together with their compassionate, skilled team to guide you through every step. Whether it's an MRI, CT scan, or X-ray, their precise diagnostics help your doctor deliver the best care plan for you. Choose clarity and comfort in your life by choosing Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard and online at amimaging.com.
The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeyman electricians from $32.50 to $42.50 per hour with paid benefits. And if you're looking for a new career, they're hiring apprentices at $19.50 per hour with paid benefits. Call the office at 402-423-4497 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Forget the lame excuse this year. Your boss already knows why you can't make it to work for those magical 2 days in mid-March. Join 93.7 The Ticket on Thursday and Friday at Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O for March Mayhem. Come early on Thursday and get a ping pong ball with a lucky team on it. And stay all day for prizes throughout and buzzer beater upsets. It's March Mayhem with 93.7 The Ticket for the NCAA tournament at Buffalo Wings and Rings, 68th and O.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Well, it's the middle of winter. The holidays are over and the weather is unpredictable. Isn't there anything to look forward to? You bet there is. Cash Blast from your Nebraska Lottery is back. Until April 1st, buy a 2x2 ticket and enter the voucher number online for a chance to win one of 7 weekly drawings for $5,000 or $500. And if your voucher is from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. Hey, there's nothing like a little green to cure the winter blues. 2x2 top prize odds 1 in 105,000.
Hey Stars fans, I'm goaltender William Prowse. Be here at the Icebox on Saturday, March 22nd, when we host the Sioux Falls Stampede at 6:05. It's Pucks and Paws night at that box, so you can bring your dog to the game with you. Lock in your seats for March 22nd now by getting your tickets at lincolnstars.com.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
You're listening to coverage of the NCAA tournament live from Buffalo Wings and Rings at 68th and O on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is the Adam Carriker Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Adam Carriker Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Again, we are on location at Buffalo Wings and Rings here in Lincoln. I am devouring a delicious barbecue hamburger. Well, not as we speak. I finished chewing right as we were coming back. But I do have about a quarter of an onion ring, and then when Jake starts talking, I am going to finish that thing. It's very, very good. All right. Update time. Purdue is up by 8 over High Point, 39-31. All right. As these numbers get bigger and farther apart for Creighton and Louisville, it makes me do an awful lot of thinking how to put this in football terms. Oh, this is easy. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They're up 71-54. You have any idea what's going on in Wisconsin and Montana, Jake?
Yeah, that one just started. I think it was above us.
Oh, Wisconsin
had a slight lead.
Yeah, they're up by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion there, 21-13. All right. Before we give Husker Sports Roundup type update here, I put out a thing on Twitter about the Carriker Chronicles football camp this summer. This lady responded. She said, "Can a 44-year-old woman attend?" ? Laughing face, or laughing emoji. I was like, you know what? I took it very serious. I said, if you can prove you're still in middle school, yes. All right, ladies.
Oh, Billy Madison action there. Huh?
Oh, there's a trailer out for Happy Gilmore, too. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
What's your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Oh, man, that's a good question. You know what? Actually, I really like Little Nicky. I think maybe among
that was
my
one
favorite.
of his words.
You didn't like that one?
No.
Oh.
All right, then it just went awkwardly quiet after
Yeah,
that.
well, what's your favorite then? I don't know.
Well, Happy Gilmore is
Happy
number
Gilmore,
one.
That's a good one, yeah.
Billy Madison is up there. Like, I loved his 90s stuff. He's had some decent stuff here and there, but since then, I'm just kind of like, it's not been the same. You know, Shooter McGavin, the real Shooter McGavin, has an account on Twitter. He's rather freaking hilarious. Give him a follow if you're so inclined. He is in this movie as well. All right. Let me see. The mom, I think her name was, I can't remember, from Modern Family. Was she in the original Happy Gilmore?
I think she was like the girl interest. Yeah.
Dude, I never I never connected those dots before. Yeah. All right, real quick. Nebraska baseball. Kerry Powers leads Nebraska baseball to midweek sweep in Malibu. Dylan Carey slugged 2 homers and drove in 3 runs as Nebraska clinched its midweek sweep of Pepperdine with 11-4 win in Malibu on Wednesday afternoon. So let me get this freaking straight. While we're in the middle of a blizzard, they're in Hawaii. That's what I'm to understand. They're in Hawaii playing baseball. It was 80 degrees on Tuesday when they canceled all my kids' stuff. And I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it. And then I saw it. And you and I were supposed to go to AEW on Wednesday. You chickened out second after I chickened out first. And we did not go. So we're in the middle of a freaking blizzard. And they're in Malibu. All right. I need more NIL. I'm just saying. I'm not getting any, and I need some. All right. Nebraska's 9-11 on the season. So they take on this was funny. I looked at their schedule and I'm like, we're still out of conference. Oh no, wait, USC's in the Big Ten. I still haven't mentally adjusted to that. They take on the Trojans Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a 3-game set. All right, out in Irvine, California. They'd have to sweep the Trojans to get back to and over 500. That's a crazy thought for me. All right.
Did you see, by the way, the hidden ball trick against Pepperdine? That was good,
dude. So the first comment I saw was, what is this gimmicky crap? I don't know, stuff they've been doing for years that's fun and it helps you win baseball games. It wasn't okay. So my wife showed it to me, and she's like, this base runner's not paying attention at all. You got to remember, I played more baseball growing up than football and basketball combined. And I watched the clip. First of all, loved it. Loved that type of stuff. All right, it's the first base coach's fault. So the runner gets up, and no, he's not really paying attention. The first baseman fakes the throw, puts the ball back in his mitt, and he's literally staring at the runner and waiting. The first base coach didn't say a word. That's on him. It's on the runner, too. But I put it like 60-40 on the first base coach, 40% on the runner. But that was phenomenally done, and I loved it. Gimmicky crap my rear end. If we win games, that's all I care about. Just ask Matt Rule and Fred Hoiberg. All right. And Amy Williams tomorrow would probably agree. All right, Carey led the Huskers at the plate, going 3 for 4 with 2 homers, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. Tyler Stone was 2 for 3 with a double, a home run, an RBI, and 2 runs. All right, let's see. Hogan Hellitzgrow drove in 2 runs behind a pair of hits, while Devin Nunez hit a 2-run homer. All right, Nebraska finishes off their 2-game sweep of Pepperdine, 9-6 on Tuesday, 11-4 in Malibu. While we're, freezing cold and blizzard conditions here in Lincoln, more power to you. They beat them 11-4. Any quick thoughts on Nebraska baseball at the moment, Jake?
No, just like you said, hopefully they can kind of get right the track. It's a desperately needed series sweep for Nebraska. Now they got to do that, like you said, in the Big Ten, where I think they're 1-5 to start conference play. Yes,
100% agree. Hopefully they can get rolling against SC. All right, Nebraska women's gymnastics. How much time we got?
Oh, we got a minute or two.
Okay. Husker women's gymnastics set for postseason at the Big Ten Championships. The number 20 women's gymnastics team will travel to Ann Arbor, Michigan to take part in the Big Ten Championships starting tomorrow, Friday, March 21st. The Huskers will compete in the first session of the Big Ten Championship starting at 5 p.m. Central Time at the Chrysler Center and will be streamed on the Big Ten Network. Good luck to Emma Stone and the Nebraska women's gymnastics
Emma
team.
Spence.
God, I keep saying that.
And Emma Stone.
I apologize. Emma
For a
Spence.
movie.
She might be the Heisman Trophy winner, women's gymnastics.
Yeah.
And I keep confusing her with the actress. All right, I apologize, Emma. You're phenomenal. Good luck at the Big Ten Championships. Also, Husker Wrestling. They're competing at the National Championships, which starts today. All right, actually started when our show started at 11 a.m. Session 1 on ESPNU. Session 2, 6 p.m. tonight on ESPN. It continues Friday and Saturday as well. All right, Jake. Little Nicky.
You're not a fan of Little Nicky. I can't believe it.
Oh, my gosh. Little Nicky. I want somebody on or the show's going to end, but if somebody on the text line, and you can text me later what they said, where do they rate Little Nicky on Adam Sandler's best movies? What are your thoughts on 50 First Dates with Drew Barrymore and the 50 other movies he's done with Drew Barrymore?
Yeah.
I would put 50 First Dates above Little Nicky.
How dare you?
How dare I? All right, you got any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Just look out. Chunky Hepburn trying to storm Creighton or Louisville back, but it's still going to be tough.
Yep, down by 2 touchdowns. All right, we will see you fine folks tomorrow. Until next time, I'm going to eat the rest of this delicious onion ring. I spoke too much, didn't get to do it while Jake was talking. But I'll see you fine folks tomorrow. Go Big Red Noise. Remember to throw the ball.